Grocery stores in New York City are considering locking up food because theft has become so rampant, by Michael Snyder on Collectus Park. We really are in the process of becoming a Mad Max society, and we only have ourselves to blame. Food has become a prime target for thieves, and that should deeply alarm all of us. Once upon a time, shoplifting was a minor nuisance for most retailers in the United States. But today the game has completely changed. Highly organized gangs of thieves are systematically looting stores all over the country, and this is costing retailers billions upon billions of dollars. Authorities call it organized retail crime, but I call it complete and utter lawlessness when you have large groups of people storming retail stores all over the nation on a regular basis, which is a major crisis. Originally, a lot of these gangs were primarily targeting goods that could be resold on the internet very easily, but now a lot of grocery stores are being targeted and food is being stolen on a scale that we have never seen before. In New York City, things have gotten so bad that some stores are thinking of implementing dramatic measures. The following comes from a Fox News article entitled, "New York City Grocery Stores Consider Locking Up Food Due to Rampant Theft. Workers Are Traumatized." Shampoo, toothpaste, and razor blades are all items that grocery stores have increasingly started locking behind counters. Soon that list might include food. "People have no fear of coming to your store and stealing," said Nelson Eusebio of National Supermarket Association. "Our employees are terrified," Eusebio said. "We have young people that come to work, young cashiers who work part-time. These kids are 16, 17 years old. They're traumatized. When I first started warning that we are becoming a Mad Max society, a lot of people thought that I was exaggerating. Sadly, the breakdown of law and order just continues to accelerate in many of our largest cities. In fact, it's being reported that grand larcenies were up 80% in New York last year. New York City, that is. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has made a point of combating the repeat offenses. "Criminals believe our criminal justice system is a joke," Adams said in comments referring to a serial intruder who was arrested and released 26 times. "Those arrested for grand larceny go to court, get released, and on their way home from court, they're doing another grand larceny," he said. According to the New York Police Department, grand larcenies, thefts over $1,000, were up 80% in New York City last year. Only an 80% increase? Yes, that sounds perfectly normal to me. In other areas of the country, shortages are the big news right now. I never imagined that Costco would totally run out of eggs in early 2023, but this has actually happened in many of their stores. Wall Street Silver tweets, "This Costco is now completely sold out of eggs. 2020 was toilet paper. 2023 is going to be a run on eggs. Get yours now." Part of this is avian flu and reduced numbers of production. And as I discussed yesterday, bird flu is one of the factors that's causing supplies of eggs to get tighter. But as the farmer in the video explains, it's certainly not the only factor. Wall Street Silver tweets, "The real reason for egg shortage is not avian flu. And according to this farmer, the producers can't cover their costs. So there are now millions of fewer hens and many millions of fewer eggs produced per day." No matter how high interest rates go, people still need to eat. So the Federal Reserve can hike interest to the moon, but food prices are still going to remain ridiculously high. However, higher rates will crush many other areas of the economy, and some of the biggest names in the corporate world are now conducting mass layoffs. Goldman Sachs is just the latest firm to reduce its size in recent months. Morgan Stanley announced that it would cut 2% of its staff in December. Amazon plans to cut over 18,000 jobs, and Salesforce announced that it would cut 10% of its workforce and close some offices last week. While white-collar workers were less affected by the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns than their blue-collar counterparts, many jobs were simply done remote instead of being cut. Professionals are now bearing the brunt of the economic headwinds America faces. When are people going to finally understand that we have a major league crisis on our hands? When Goldman Sachs lays off large numbers of workers, which is a red flag. when Morgan Stanley lays off large number of workers, which is a red flag, when Amazon lays off large numbers of workers, which is a red flag. Facebook, Twitter, McDonald's, and Walmart are also laying off workers. As they used to say in the 1980s, it is time to wake up and smell the coffee. At this point, things are so grim that the World Bank is warning that the entire global economy could plunge into a recession this year. The global economy is just one more knock away from a second recession in the same decade, something that has not happened in more than 80 years. That's the latest warning from World Bank, which on Tuesday sharply lowered its forecast for global economic growth. As economic conditions deteriorate, people are going to become increasingly desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. So if you think that organized retail theft is bad now, just wait until you see what's ahead. The social deterioration that we've been witnessing over the past several years will soon accelerate significantly, and that is really bad news for all of us. Many retail stores on both coasts have already closed due to the epidemic of theft that we are experiencing, and a whole lot more will soon be permanently shut down. We really are in the process of becoming a Mad Max society, and we only have ourselves to blame. It's finally here, Michael's new book entitled End Times, now available in paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. And this is by Michael Snyder. He says about the author, "My name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, Commissions Earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing, and one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I have published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News, and the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, and financial or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world, which he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. This is on Collective Spark by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.